I'm here with Mr. Sturm, and I'm just going to ask him a couple questions about him teaching during coronavirus. Can you tell me about when you were online? What was the hardest part about having your classes online?
Yeah, Miller, thank you for interviewing me. I'm excited to do this. Honestly, the hardest part about having classes online is just the lack of meaningful interaction with all my students. Conversations kind of spark more organically in the classroom, and those are really the connections and the times that are so meaningful to me and to us as teachers in terms of getting to know you guys and interacting with you guys. These are the moments that kind of allow us to build the connections that we want to build with you guys, that really allow us to get to know you. And online, everyone's just kind of muted. No one's really, it's just a little bit more awkward. And it just feels like a disconnect between teacher and student there. And I mean, for me, like building the connections with you guys is my favorite part of teaching. So
Yeah. So what has been the biggest challenge of it all, and why?
So I've really found balancing the the in-person and the virtual learning to be the biggest challenge this year. You guys have probably heard me grumbling just a little bit. It's hard to kind of balance it and to give the same amount of time to in-person and to the virtual learners. And every time I think about how the year is going, I can't help but ask myself if there's more that I can be doing for the students on Zoom. And so I've tried to write more emails out to them offering extra Zoom sessions to kind of get in touch one-on-one, to work a little bit more closely, because I know it's harder to work closer when you're kind of virtual when the teacher's in the classroom. So
Yeah. How do you think your students have adapted?
I think you guys have adapted pretty well, especially to the COVID approach here at school with the masks and the distancing and the lack of really like jumping on each other, and doing like class trips and kind of getting in groups and sharing materials. I can't imagine how difficult and stressful this has been to you guys, the last year and a half. But all things considered, especially with the political climate added to it all, I think you guys have managed this pretty good. So in the long run, you're learning to adapt and persevere and kind of take things that life throws at you and just kind of making the most of it. So
Yeah, that's great. What has motivated you to keep going to school?
I think students deserve us to be at our best, and our best is in the classroom, and doing the in-person learning. So I guess that's been my motivation, especially when I was out in the hospital. I felt like, I needed to get back in the classroom. I didn't feel like what I was able to do was as good as it could have been if I had just been in person. So, at the same time, your teachers, even me, like we're all adapting just like you guys are, especially when it comes to kind of planning out and envisioning our lessons and the directions that we want to take our units. So despite all the restrictions and regulations this year, you guys deserve to be in school and deserve to have us trying our best to navigate this for you guys. So
What safety precautions has your school done for students and teachers?
well, we have sanitation spray, and we have sanitation wipes, and we have a cleaning crew that sprays surfaces and touch points every night. We're sitting in spaced desks. We're wearing face masks. We're contact tracing people who have contracted, the coronavirus. So, in terms of safety, I think we've been doing a relatively good job.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, despite COVID and all the weirdness of this year, I wouldn't trade my profession here as a teacher for anything. And I truly love what I do and love working with all you guys. So appreciate you guys, and looking forward to a great end of the year.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Yeah, Miller, thanks for having me, buddy. Looking forward to hearing this.
Yep.